Hey everybody, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. My name's Clint. I'm Mystic Valley Designs. I airbrush custom model horses. Today's video is going to be real short. I've been working on this 1/6 scale Mustang model for the last several weeks, and I've applied Frisket to the hooves, and so today we're just simply going to be removing Frisket. Some of you have never used Frisket or haven't used the type I'm using. No big deal. There's a lot of different types of Frisket. They all do pretty much the same thing. But today's video, we're just simply going to be removing Frisket. I think this will be a relatively short video. So here's what we've done so far. First of all, the model has been prepped, sanded, all that neat stuff. Been primer coat, had a primer coat put on it, and I think the primer coat was just simply a can of Rust-Oleum, I believe. I'd have to check my notes. Anyway, it's been primered. Last couple of days, I hosed it down completely in a gold copper color. That was the base color. Yesterday, I went in with browns and blacks and added dapples to it. And that's what you see right now. Now, the first thing I did was after I put on the white primer coat and let it dry for several days, I had an idea of where I wanted white to be, specifically socks and a blaze, or a star, whatever you call it, right in the middle of the forehead. So that's where I applied my Frisket. And the point of Frisket is to prevent overspray from getting on an undercoat. Now, I've relabeled this. It's because Frisket, imagine that. This is made by Grumbacher. And there's a lot of different companies that make liquid Frisket. Most of them are latex-based, which means they have the consistency of rubber cement. It's not as sticky or adhesive as rubber cement, but it behaves in a similar fashion. And you apply it with a ratty old paintbrush, your worst rancid 99-cent paintbrush, and you just simply apply it wherever you want. And in my case, it's a white base coat. You apply it wherever you want white to remain. And if you notice on these hooves, you know, I've got a ton of overspray of browns and blacks and golds and coppers and all that neat stuff on them. And here I've rubbed it accidentally. And you can see some of the Frisket starting to come off, and I might even have overspray on that. I don't know yet. But anyway, today's video is just simply removing overspray, removing Frisket. Now this Frisket has been on for about 4 days now, and that's really pushing the limit. I don't like to leave Frisket on more than about 2 days at the most. I find that after about 2 days, it starts to turn into glue, which is something you don't want. Now, it can be rubbed off, you know, up to a week later. You know, it's not the end of the world. It's just that with that aggressive rubbing to get it off after it's dried that much, with that aggressive rubbing, you might actually also be removing some of your base coat or undercoat. And again, it's not the end of the world. It's just annoying to have to deal with. So I try to keep my Frisket lifespan 2 days or less, and you know, life happens. So here I am, you know, 4 or 5 days later with, you know, dried Frisket on here. So to remove Frisket, that's all you need. Now these are, I'll give you an example. Up here on the mane, if I was going to apply a Frisket to the mane, I would want a tiny little pick type of tool. This is something I made years and years ago. It's literally just a dowel rod with a sharpened nail epoxied into it. But it's great for getting into tiny detail, or tiny little crevices to remove Frisket. Down here on the hooves, I don't think I will need that. We're just going to use fingers. But let's start removing Frisket. And you really just simply rub. And I try to get it off all in one piece, because Frisket likes to, it's a rubbery latex compound, and it likes to stick to itself. So I use that to my advantage, and I allow the Frisket to adhere to itself, and it pulls itself off with just gentle rubbing. And when I'm working on a hoof like this, I try to start from the bottom and roll up. And then we're going to run out of Frisket, so to speak. In other words, the paint has stopped and the Frisket began, or the frisket has stopped and the paint began. And so now I have a ring of frisket around the hoof there, or around the leg. Just like peel that off. There's a booger, so to speak. And you might have a little dab of frisket here and there. But that's a hoof now, hoof and a sock, that's now base coated white. God, this sunlight is just killing me. That's what it looks like. And there's a little bit of overspray on there, but it's not the end of the world. I can correct that either with a brush or with an airbrush, either one. So we're going to move on to the back right hoof, and it's going to be the exact same thing. So I'm going to start at the bottom on the sole. And, oh wait, I didn't do this one. No, oh, good help's hard to find these days. So let's go to the front right and just start rolling up. There we go. And here's another ring of frisket around that hoof. Peel that off. There you go. Throw it away. And there's another hoof. And the whole point of this is to have a nice white hoof that you can paint later on. So now the front right has frisket on it. We're going to start on the hoof, or on the sole rather. And I'm going to try to hold that up. There we go. And then just simply start peeling. There you go. Now on this one, I actually might need to get my little pick out to get behind that hoof. Now I'm going to try to use the frisket itself to mash down in there. And I've gotten most of it. Throw that away. There, we can still see some more frisket down in here. Oh, I forgot. Let's do the forehead. I don't know if you can see the outline or the shape of where I've applied the frisket. Yeah, there you go. So again, we're just simply going to start down at the bottom and roll up. You can see it starting to peel off there. And I'm using the frisket to make it stick to itself. And I might need to get my pick into this. Let me get some glasses on so I don't mar my horse worse than it already is. There we go. There. There. What do you think of them apples? Not bad. And then you can color this. You know, this is just simply a white base coat underneath there, so you can color it, paint it, or just simply leave it white. And you can apply this technique, you know, to pintos and paints. It is a common one, Appaloosas. But in this particular instance, I'm just simply doing socks and a blaze, and that's it. So anyway, folks, that is removing frisket from a model. I was using Grumbacher frisket, and there's literally dozens of different types of friskets out there, but they all behave pretty much the same. You brush it on, let it dry, paint over it, and then after that paint dries, then you remove your frisket, and this is the result. So anyway, folks, I'm Clint. I'm Mystic Valley Designs. I airbrush custom model horses. So thanks for tuning in. Take care. Peace out. Bye now.